Hi, this is Phil from Stick Security, and we're going to have a look at the efficacy of these range extenders. Now, ideally, as far as I understand it, what you want to be doing is bobbing these sort of equidistant between the source and the credential. However, that's not massively useful for what I'm interested in, which is more sort of covert entry stuff. So, what I want to find out is, doing a normal NFC read, if I bob this right up to the flipper, am I going to get a decent amount of range extension, and how much am I actually going to get with it in place? Now, the way we're going to do this is not very scientific. We have my wife's tape measure, a clothes peg, thank you, DC151. We're using a wooden clothes peg, so we're not sinking away any extra RF energy that we don't need to by using a metal holder or anything like that. And there's a bunch of different credential types here that we're going to play with. So hopefully a little bit of movie magic here, and we're going to get this set up. So first thing we're going to do is DESFire, and get nice and close, and we get a read off that card. It sees it is DESFire. Now we may get partial reads, so every time we get a read, we're going to just check to make sure we've got a full read and not just the UID or something like that. So first, let's see if I bring this in 6 centimeters, 5 centimeters, 2 inches yanks, 4, roughly 3 centimeters, and we get a full read at 3 centimeters. So we're going to go retry that, and we're going to go to 6, and I'm going to just introduce our repeater. And that's not going to work now. So what about equidistant? Not really, not feeling it. Do you know what helps though? It helps if you do it properly. So 6 centimeters. Ooh. We have a read. Interesting. 8 centimeters? Can't work at 8 centimeters. Nah. What about equidistant? No, so nothing at 8 centimeters, which is not unsurprising, let's be honest. But that was a good, what, 2 or 3 centimeters extra? I'll take that, that's worthwhile. Let's swap this out, and let's go for an NTAG. We'll leave the Seos. I was going to make a joke there about pegging, but not with my dog there. That's just wrong. Right. So NTAG should have a relatively good read range. Yeah, so we can tell whether it's a full read or not because we get my website telling you off if you go to that link for randomly following links. So 5 centimeters works, 7, still a good read at 6, so I'll call that 6 centimeters without assistance. So let's pop that, looks about right, 8 centimeters. And bring in, nice, that's a full read, so that's a good 2 centimeters extra. Let's bring it out to about 10 centimeters, looks about right. The angle of this makes it look like I'm a little bit off, but this is incredibly scientific, and we're definitely working to within 1 millimeter margins for error. So 10 centimeters, I think, is asking a bit much. Let's bring it in, ooh, let's say 9.5-ish. What about equidistant? Nothing. Oh, it was trying to get a partial read there. I'm going to bring it into 9-ish. What do we see? Right, so we get a sort of corrupted read there at if I put it equidistant at about 9. So again, we're getting 2 or 3 centimeters extra, which is not to be sniffed at. Well, unpeg Loki and let's move on to something a little bit meatier. Now this is a Seos card with an elite key, so the flipper will not be able to get a proper read. 5 centimeters. Works at 5. Retry again. And 6. Nothing at 6, and I feel like I didn't give that a proper chance, so let's just it's a partial read there at about 3, 4, 4. And then that is at 27, so that's 3 centimeters away. So again, we're looking at 2 centimeters roughly extra. Now the last one I'm going to try seriously, because this one is a low frequency card, so the range extender shouldn't work, but it's a matter of does it actually allow reading at all, which could be quite interesting to see. This is an iClass card and it's got an elite key on it. iClass has got quite a good read range on it. The PicoPass chip that is at the heart of it is a very low power chip. So NFC, and we have to go to the PicoPass app. So this is going to run a dictionary attack, so it's a little bit trickier for us to do, because it's got to try multiple different keys before it gets the right one. So let's try a read at good close range and see how long it takes. Okay, so that's what happens when we have a full read, and just to show you what's actually going on there, that's what's happening. So it's running a dictionary attack. So we'll bob that back, and let's try it at 5 centimeters. I think it's going to work at 5 centimeters. It is. Yep, full read. Make sure that's, yeah, and 8 centimeters. It can't work at 8 centimeters. Be very surprised if we get anything at 8. Yeah, it's not reading the card. What, 7? Do I get anything at 7? So 7 centimeters, we've got a corrupted read, which is fair enough, I would say. Oh, it might help if I bring it into the field at the right distance. That's 6 centimeters. I'm expecting a full read at 6. There we go. So 6 centimeters without any assistance. Let's start at 10 and bring in Hamspice's finest. Oh, I was expecting that to work at 10. That's an auth failed. I'm going to give it another go. I'm feeling that way out. Okay, so 10 centimeters, we're getting we're on the margins potentially. I just want to try that at 12 because I'm just feeling that way out. Nah, absolutely not. What if I put it equidistance? So you didn't see that, but as I moved the repeater in, it then actually found it, but it was still a corrupted read, possibly because I was still moving it. But in a sort of covert entry situation, it doesn't help you that much being able to slide that in between the two. I mean, you might be able to make use of that in a lift or something like that, but frankly, it's more use if you can bob the thing right on the edge and just try and snag a read that way. So it's not to be sniffed at. I would say, does it massively increase the usefulness of the flipper? I am not 100% sure. 2 centimeters extra is worth it, I think, and it might increase the chance of being able to get a stealthy read off someone. But is it going to stop people using the Proxmark? Nah, I don't think so. Right, so we're going to peg Clippy now, and Clippy is hiding a 125 kilohertz tag. So go to RFID, read, and we should get, I think this is set to HID prox or something. Yeah, there we go. So very basic credential. And what sort of range do we get? Anything there? Nothing. Wow, I was expecting better range than that. So what, like 2 centimeters there? Something like that. But what I'm interested in is, this isn't going to extend the range. The physics don't work. But will it stop it from reading at all? Yeah, man, you know you want to. So it doesn't stop it from reading at all. Which is useful to know if you're planning on sort of strapping these together in some kind of rig. You got fairly meh range on the low frequency side on this anyway, so yeah, you could potentially leave it sort of stuck together and still get useful reads off a low frequency card, but ultimately you want to be getting something that's tuned to the frequencies that you're planning on using. Yeah, that'll do for me. I'm finding that a hell of a lot better than, I think it was a Dangerous Things one that I got. It was a tiny little sticker about that big. And I was looking at it going, that can't work. I cannot see a situation in which that will work. And it didn't. It actually made things worse. But that's the real deal. That definitely increases your range. And some of them, you're looking, what, 30 to 50% increase in range? I'll take it. For the price, definitely.